Sometimes the most comforting thing in your life isn't a person. It isn't a phone call. It isn't advice. It isn't someone telling you it's going to be okay. It's a dog, quietly lying beside you, not asking anything, not saying anything, just there. And if you've ever felt more understood by an animal than by the people around you, psychology has something important to say about that. Because what's happening in those quiet moments isn't just warmth, it isn't just companionship. Something real is occurring inside your nervous system, something your body has been searching for, and most people never realize it. Think about the kind of day where nothing works. You wake up already exhausted. The weight of something you can't quite name sits heavy in your chest. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's a loss you're still learning to carry. Maybe it's the particular loneliness of being surrounded by people who care but still somehow can't reach you. You try talking. The words come out wrong, or they come out fine and nothing changes. Someone offers advice you didn't ask for. Someone else changes the subject. Another person means well but says exactly the wrong thing, and now you're managing their discomfort on top of your own. And then the dog walks over. No announcement, no agenda, just a quiet presence moving across the room toward you, like they already knew. They settle beside you. Maybe they rest their head on your leg. Maybe they just sit close enough that you can feel the warmth of them. And something in you exhales. That exhale is not nothing. That exhale is your entire nervous system recognizing something it had been missing. Here's what psychology understands about humans in pain that we often forget about ourselves. We don't always need solutions first. We need safety first. We need our bodies to feel regulated before our minds can even begin to process what's wrong. When you're in emotional distress, your nervous system enters a kind of alert state. Cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, begins to rise. Your heart rate shifts. Your breathing becomes shallower. Your body is scanning, searching, waiting for a signal that tells it, you are not alone. You are not in danger. You can rest now. That signal doesn't always come from words. Sometimes it can't come from words, because the part of you that needs comforting isn't the thinking part. It's older than thought. It's the part of you that learned, long before language, that proximity to a calm presence means safety. Dogs are calm presences. Naturally, instinctively, almost effortlessly calm. And that calmness is contagious in the most profound biological sense. There's a concept in psychology called co-regulation. It's the process by which one nervous system helps stabilize another through closeness, warmth, and consistent presence. We first experience it as infants, held by someone whose breathing and heartbeat communicate, everything is okay. That capacity never leaves us. Even as adults, even in our most composed moments, our nervous systems are quietly reading the emotional state of those around us. A calm dog beside you isn't just pleasant. Their slow breathing, their relaxed body, the steady warmth of their presence, all of it sends quiet signals to your stress system. Slow down. Settle. You're safe here. Cortisol begins to ease. The body follows. And for the first time in hours, sometimes days, you feel something close to peace. This is why the dog helps when nothing else does. Not because they understand your pain, but because their body speaks directly to yours in a language that bypasses all the places where human comfort sometimes gets tangled. Think about a man named Robert. He lost his wife of 41 years on a Tuesday in November. The weeks that followed were full of people. Casseroles and phone calls and visitors sitting in chairs across from him saying all the things people say, and he was grateful genuinely. But every evening, when the house emptied out and the silence returned, he sat in a stillness that felt unbearable. His dog, a golden retriever named Bo, would come and sit beside his chair without being called. Every evening, without fail, not asking to be petted, not demanding anything, just present. Robert later said it was the only time during those months he didn't feel completely alone. Not because Bo understood, but because Bo stayed. But here's the part nobody tells you. The reason a dog's comfort can feel more times healing than human comfort in certain moments isn't because humans fail us. It's because dogs offer something humans often can't, at least not consistently: presence without expectation. When people care about you, they bring their own fear into the room. They want you to be okay. They need you to be okay. And sometimes that need, as loving as it is, creates pressure you can feel even when nothing is said. You find yourself performing a version of doing better just to relieve them. You manage your own grief to protect them from discomfort. A dog doesn't need you to be okay. They don't become afraid when you cry. They don't shift uncomfortably when the silence stretches. They don't check their phone. They don't need the conversation to go somewhere productive. They just stay, and in staying, they give you permission to fall apart without consequence. That is an extraordinarily rare gift. Consider a woman named Elena, who spent 8 months after her mother's death feeling a particular kind of grief she described as shapeless. She had a small terrier named Fig who had been her mother's dog before becoming hers. Every morning, Fig would find her wherever she had settled and lie with her until she was ready to move. Not pushing, not pulling, just anchoring. Elena said that Fig's presence was the thing that made the morning survivable, not because it erased anything, because it made her feel held without having to explain why she needed holding. These moments become rituals without you planning them. The dog sleeping near the foot of your bed, the weight of their head on your knee during a hard phone call, the way they appear at your side during the specific hours when everything feels heavier. You don't train this. You don't orchestrate it. It simply develops quietly between a person in pain and an animal that seems to understand the architecture of that pain without ever being told. And your brain begins to associate those rituals with relief, with the feeling of being less alone, with safety. The nervous system is a pattern-seeking instrument, and when it finds something that reliably reduces distress, it remembers, it reaches for it. So you reach for the dog. Think about a younger man named Marcus, who spent 2 years managing an anxiety that made most days feel like navigating a room with the floor slightly tilted. He adopted a dog somewhat impulsively, he'll admit, and discovered something unexpected. The dog didn't cure the anxiety, but the dog gave it somewhere to land. The rituals of caring for her, the walks, the feeding, the quiet evenings with her settled beside him, created a rhythm his nervous system could use as a kind of anchor. A place to return to when everything else felt uncertain. The dog didn't fix anything, but she made the difficult days feel navigable rather than impossible. That's what comfort actually does. It doesn't remove the weight. It doesn't solve the problem. It restores enough steadiness that you can carry what you're carrying without being crushed by it. Dogs are extraordinary at this. They are, in a very real psychological sense, a living anchor, a warm and breathing point of stability in the moments when everything else is shifting. They don't require you to be coherent or composed or even functional. They require nothing at all. They simply offer themselves consistently as a presence that says, "You are not alone in this room. You are not alone in this moment. I am here." And maybe that's why when the day goes wrong and you walk through the door, the first thing you look for is them. Not because they have answers, not because they'll make the thing that's hard suddenly easy, but because somewhere in your body, in the oldest and most honest part of you, you know that their presence will make the weight bearable. You know that for a few minutes, beside them, your nervous system will remember what calm feels like. You know that you won't have to carry it alone. There's nothing broken about needing that. There's nothing small about it. It's one of the most human things there is to turn toward warmth when the world feels cold, to seek a presence that asks nothing and offers everything, to let yourself be comforted quietly and completely by a creature who shows up for you without ever being asked. Maybe that's why dogs comfort us in ways that are so difficult to explain. They don't take away the pain. They don't fix the problem. They simply make sure we don't carry it alone. And sometimes, that's exactly what we need. If a dog has ever been there for you during one of the hardest moments of your life, tell me about them in the comments. I'd love to hear their story.